All right. Good morning, everyone. So, for those that don't know, this is a new randomizer. Newish. It's been about, I don't know, 8 months since it's been revealed. We're going to do a little race here, Carnoth and phone. For settings, all the entrances are completely random. There's no logic to it, aside from just being completable. We do have some dynamic scaling for enemies in the game. If we get a key item or a recruit, we gain 1 level for the enemies. If we kill a boss, do an objective, it's +3. This is kind of a Chronosanity type of mode. So any chest, any tab spot, anything like that, it can all be a key item. There's no waiting to it. There's no hints. You just find it where you find it. We've got no epoch. So anywhere we get to, we have to get there by foot. There's no shortcuts. We're going to have to look for transitions, skyways, and sewers, and forests, and whatnot. And then for the loot, we've got it set up to where it's 75% shuffle, which is the vanilla item pool just placed randomly throughout the chests and other things. And then we've got 25% random, which is just pulling from a random list of items. So you'll have a potential for like extra prism specs. You might find ultimate items more often. Things of that nature. So we're looking at objectives here. We've got to get the Giant's Claw treasure, defeat the Genodome boss, charge the Moonstone, do the Cathedral, clear Tyranno lair, finish the desert, and do the seed turn-in at Arisdome. And I think charge the Moonstone. So we're starting off with the frog. We'll start in Chrono's bed. From there, we have no idea what's going to happen. So it is a single character start. It can get a little rough, especially in entrance rando, where you don't know where your recruits are going to be. There are 9 potential spots. Some of them are gated, some of them are free. But because it's entrance rando, we don't know where to find them. We don't know if we're going to find them an hour into the seed, 90 minutes into the seed. So right now, we're just going to hope that a frog is pretty good. So right off the bat, we got a Hecarim cave next door. You see we got some enemy shuffle going on. They're shuffled by different sizes, so it's a technical limitation. So you see big enemies where big enemies normally are, small enemies mixed with small enemies. There's transforming enemies. You'll kind of see them shuffled amongst themselves. So that flame there, that's basically where a mandatory encounter would normally be. We try to make basically everything skippable. If there was a skip in the vanilla game, we'll just leave it as is. If there's a mandatory one, we'll put a flame there so you can do it optionally. Carnoth, he's found his last village portal. That's a new feature. It will take you to Mount Woe. You gotta unlock it first though, it's sealed at the start. Phone's gonna go ahead and go through Hecarim Cave level 1. Hopefully you can beat the boss. It shouldn't be a big deal, because the boss is also level 1. We see red mails and rainbow helms in the new shop. That'll be nice. So there's an item back there. It's kind of RNG if you can get to it or not. The easiest thing to do, just enter and exit a few times, see if the new moves. So we got a mud imp here. It's actually not that bad. At low levels, boss's defenses are basically nothing, so it should go down pretty quick. We see a pretty good shop here on Carnoth's side. I saw a regal plate, a whole bunch of consumables. We'll have to mark that for later. So because all the entrances are shuffled, we do have an entrance tracker. We're going to show that off at the end. It'll basically let you record like all your transitions, all your important places that you got to take note of. Speaking of transitions, Carnoth, he's going through the meeting site here. You can see where it spits out. And we're in 600 now. He's going to make a note of that. Phone's also going to transition here. And he's on a floating island. Let's see what's there. So we got the lazy carpenter here. We're going to go ahead and set that up. Maybe he'll check a shop too. Got a forest maze on phone side. He can't do it because Ayla's not in the party. He can go through the other side if he finds it. There's like 9 chests there, so he's gonna want to. Seeing a whole lot of transitions on Carnoth's side. I see a Sun Keep, 65 million. That'll be good for the Moonstone turn-in later. Phone looks to have found his Truce Canyon, so he's going to see who's at the fair. Got a couple things going on there. There's an item the fair person drops if they're there. If they're not there, it's just on the floor. So that's one potential recruit if we can find the item necessary to recruit them. Carnoth going through the sewers. We'll see where that spits him out. We'll see what the boss is there. Alright, so we've got our Magus here. He needs a ruby knife to recruit him here. Depending on the character, it'll be a different item. Frog needs the hero medal. Luca needs the gate key. And so on. We're going to go ahead and check the Gato spot. See who's there. I think we saw Atropos in the sewer. That'll be nice if we get a Robo. We'll come back, just knock her out. Get a nice buff for Robo there. So we got a pendant in that chest there. If he gets one more of those, we're going to open up a whole lot of stuff. A lot of sealed chests, sealed doors. Epoch, potentially. So Carnoth got some pretty good gold there. He's going to check the burrow. We got Chrono there. So if we have a hero medal, we can move him out of the way. We'll get an item out of that chest. It's usually a key item, but in this, obviously, it could be anything. Phone, stocking up on some pretty nice stuff. He's got a lot of gold early on. Gonna make use of it. 99 power mules, of course. Heals, revives, shelters. Rage Band. Good for the counters if you run into a situation where you can make use of that. So that took him to 65 million. He's going to go ahead and take some notes. We're going to see where this goes. We got a Protodome here. Potential recruit, but no, it's not. He's going to nope out of there. So if we get Robo, do that factory, we can get to end of time through there, which is going to be good in the end game. You unlock the bucket with 3 objectives in these settings. That'll be nice. Get straight to Lavos. Got to find Robo, of course. So Carnoth going back through the sewers. He's probably going to check some more transitions in the area. Alright, he's going to go ahead and knock that Robo buff out. Phone's heading into Aussie Fort. For those that are uninitiated, Aussie Fort works a little weird here. You've got 2 mini bosses from the mini boss pool. So it could be Dalton, Flea Plus, Super Slash, Crawley, Atropos, and Dalton? Did I say Dalton already? I don't know. So those 2 bosses you'll fight in the Flea and Slash spots. And then for the actual boss, those mini bosses will come back. They'll be joined by a random other boss. It can get a little spicy. Get Zeal there. Gato starts punching. Some people might go down. We're pretty early on here. I think Phone has a pretty good setup. Should be able to do some damage, so hopefully the bosses aren't too bad. So while we got a moment, you'll see the scale icon on the trackers on the right side. Phone's currently level 4, so all his enemies are scaled to be about level 4. Kind of think stuff leading up to Yakra in the Cathedral, that level of power. Yakra would be about level 6. So if he kills the bosses in here, he'll be 7. Maybe about on par with like the prison escape in the vanilla game. Not too bad. Carnoth gets through his ribbon fight. Phone fights Gato. So pretty physical Ozzy's fort so far. He does have decent defenses. He's got a berserker. He's got really high damage with his weapon here. He's got 4 times crit. The berserker adds an extra 50% on top of that. Not too bad. We're still pretty early on, so critting for 900 damage, that's a nice boon. I don't think he's going to have too much trouble. So we got a jerky there, Aeon suit, not bad. So jerky, we can do 2 things with it. There's 2 jerkies in the pool. We can either turn it in for the jerky trade, you know, kind of the normal thing you might be used to, or you can turn it into the bridge, see what the captain gives, and if the bridge is an objective or whatever, you just want to kill the boss, see what enemies are there, you can go ahead and do that too, but you don't have to. You can just give the jerky to the guy and walk away. Phone's gonna go back in. Carnoth, I assume, taking notes. Sun keeps 600, so that's just like a little check there. Get that power tab item. Got a moonstone, so that's really nice. We already know where the 65 million turn in is for that. We just got to find the other end of that, and Luca, we've got one objective done. Carnoth does a house warp. You can do that by hitting start plus select. It'll take you straight home. You can sleep, you know, reset your positioning, whatever you got to do. It'll also reset your epoch once you have it, and your dactyl, so you don't get soft locked. So Carnoth's gonna explore. Over here on Phone's side, he's got Yakra, which not too bad. His scaling did go up to level 5 because he picked up that jerky, but it's all physical enemies. They should all go down pretty quick. He just has to get lucky and crit. Notably, he still has the berserker on, so if things go sideways, he can't do anything about it, but I think the math is on his side here. So Carnoth got a lightning helm, or rainbow helm, lightning resist. I saw a Zodiac cape in that shop too, that's pretty good. Got a full ether on the ground. So there's Dactyl Nest. There's 3 chests there, 3 potential checks. You can't get the character just yet. You need a Dreamstone to get to the top. He might go for it, I don't know. He might just come back to that later. Go for the double check if he gets the Dreamstone. Kind of a risky play. If there is an item there that he wants, well. Alright, so Phone's through that fight. He doesn't actually need to finish this off because it's not an objective. There's nothing past this point, like loot-wise, but I wasn't thinking about it. So we got Death Peak. At the start, you can get this item. Full tonic, not bad. You're going to need the clone to actually ascend. It'll spawn the trees and whatnot. So we got Sunken Desert down here. He may go for it, I'm not sure. Sorry. We got a Skyway, another transition. There's Kajar. So Kajar, it's kind of interesting. You've got the shop there. It sometimes has good stuff. It's also got the secret room for 1 check. There's that secret speed tab for another check. And then the scratch point, which you don't have unlocked from the start. You have to go to Zeal Palace to get it, which we haven't seen yet. So we can do 2 checks here. Then if we find Zeal Palace, come back for the 3rd. Hopefully that's not too important. So Phone's through his fort. Now we're going to see where he goes next. Alright, so we got a dragon tier there on Phone's side. That's going to be a nice thing to have, especially with his weapon. It's got a 23% crit chance. Crit is 4 times damage. Got a Masamune, that's nice. So if he finds that burrow that Carnoth found, he can get Chrono. This little cutscene, it sends Tata to his house. When he's there, if you have a bent sword or a bent hilt, you can talk to him, he'll give you an item. It's usually a check, but obviously checks are everywhere now. But still potentially worth doing. It could be something important. Anyway, yeah, the 23% crit, 4 times damage. That dragon tier, it's a DS item. We've got some of those ported over. Just the good ones, none of the stupid ones. Gives you 20% crit chance, so his weapon would have a 43% crit chance, which, with the damage it's putting out, that's pretty good. Looks like Phone forgot to re-equip his weapon after checking the crit chance. Oops. Alright, so Carnoth, he's on the Zeal main continent. He's doing a lot of exploring. So we're kind of seeing two different approaches here. Phone's just kind of radiating out, just knocking everything out as he goes. Whereas Carnoth, it looks like he's going for like the map first strategy. Kind of get like a full picture of what's available to you and kind of try to route it from there. Both valid. There's nothing wrong with either one of those. Just, you know, sometimes the mapping out works out better. Sometimes, you know, you find the thing you want right away, just checking things. So we're going to kind of see how that plays out. Carnoth, he's got big information advantage. You know, he knows a lot of transitions, knows where a lot of checks are. Phone, he's progressing. He's got more levels, he's got more items, got a stronger character. I'm sure it'll even out. So Carnoth going through lab 16. Phone obviously gonna grab every single chest here. And because he has Frog, he can also catch the rock, which is not actually a check. You know, for obvious reasons, that's a very tedious thing to try to deal with. Dash Ring on Phone side, Carnoth just got 50,000 gold. Both smiling. Alright, so Carnoth found another landmass, so he's really filling in the edges of the map here. You got the Fritz shop, if he ever does the prison break. We could get some mid-ethers there, and a new shop. A silver rock for sale. I didn't see the text. I don't think Leap Slash was all that good. But it's still an accessory. Still useful. I think that was 6 MP, so stronger than normal. He could probably get like good damage off that if he has the party for it. So I should mention, it is tech damage rando. And it's also in order of MP and type. So, like in Frog's case, his heals are all going to be in the same spot, but they'll be at different levels of power than the vanilla game. They'll be ordered in order of power. So he'll get his weakest heal as his first tech. He'll get his weakest damage tech as his second tech. He'll get his second weakest damage tech next, which would be where water would normally be. It's all ordered by MP value, the cost of it. The higher the cost, the stronger it is. So a 6 MP Leap Slash, normally in vanilla it's 4, it's stronger. You see like a, I don't know, 22 MP Frog Squash. A vanilla's 20, it'll be stronger than vanilla. So Phone's got some tools. I guess that actually was a check. I was mistaken. And Carnoth finds another landmass. He's just going all over the place here. So Phone's fighting this boss for a speed tab. We got Northern Ruins over here. Looks like the 600 version because there's no ghost there. Got Truce In, so if you get that charged pendant, you can get a nice thing there. The sealed chests are basically always good. So still going with the Berserker strats. Working pretty well so far. Hit for like 1,000 there, one-shot the boss. Carnoth still exploring. So we got Fiona's Villa. We know where Desert is. We can turn it in with Robo. We can finish the quest with Robo and Luca. But turning it in will give you access to a new spot on the overworld as well. Phone's got a Terra Mutant. If he hits that bottom, he's going to die. So hopefully, yep, he gets lucky. Alright. So that boss is dead. That's about the best outcome it could have been. We might have had to reset a couple times on that. Alright, so Carnoth finds where the palace spot is. It's Fiona's shrine. So really, we just need the characters to do that objective. If we can find any. So far, just Frog. Phone gets his speed tab. Which, by the way, yes, that was a peekable item. He could have said no to that. It would have booted him straight out if he didn't want it. So we got a Sun Palace and a Guardian Castle on phone side. Carnoth going through the woods. I think taking some notes as well. Let's see what we got here. We got Dalton Plus. So, very scary boss. Hits very hard. Obviously counters everything you do. But, thankfully, very low health compared to any other boss in the game, basically. In the vanilla game where you fight him, he's, not very strong. So it should work out. Mostly, you probably have to crit him twice to actually win here. He's level 13, which is about like the level Hecarim is at, so expect like maybe close to 2,000, probably a little bit under. So 1,100 crit. Got him most of the way there. He just couldn't bring it home. If he had the ability to heal, obviously that would have gone a lot better. So change of strategy. We got a dragon tier, extra crit chance, no more berserk. Probably doing less damage, but I mean he'll be able to control himself, so hopefully it'll work out. Carnoth finds Magus's lair. It's not an objective. We don't really need it for much. Lair ruins. That's a transition point. Gonna mark it. Phone's getting low on health. He should have probably healed there. If he gets attacked again, he's done. Safe helm, I saw. Gloom helm, pretty good shop there. Silver studs, shelter, mid-ether, phone dies. So maybe another change of strategy. Definitely some hubris here. Feeling strong, feeling invincible. Relying on crits to succeed. Probably not the best idea. Although it would be pretty funny and fast if it did work. Alright, Carnoth finds some checks here. 100 gold. Not great. Revive. Well, he can't really use that yet. Alright, so take 3 for phone here. Carnoth looking at his objectives. Specchio. Should I not write that down as an objective? I guess not. So that's your last objective. Is to go to the end of time and do Specchio. I guess I just skipped over that one. Oops. So, I mean, fairly quick objective if you can do it. Obviously dependent on how much magic damage you can do, how much you can survive, kind of his onslaught. Every 10 levels, he gets a little bit stronger, goes into a new form, gets some new techs, gets a little bit scarier. So, if you go at like level 28, your chances of success are a lot higher than if you go at, say, like 30, 31, because he'll be in a stronger form at that point. So, kind of got to be careful with that one. If you do fight him at level 50, for example, he'll be in his second to last form, which it's hard. He has some magic resistance, does some scary stuff, status, AoE, instant kills. If you do kill him, though, he'll give you 1 of each tab, 10 elixirs, which going into Lavos, you kind of want that. It's kind of nice. It can kind of fill in some gaps in your preparation there. So we got a Robo here. We can't recruit him yet. We have to go through the Cathedral. But once we do that, we know he'll be there. And Cathedral also, a lot of chests. It's an objective. There's a boss there. There's a potential second recruit at the front even. So if we do see Cathedral, definitely going to beeline that. That's going to be a very important place to go here. Phone taking it safe, not nearly as interesting, but I think he'll get through it here. His slurp, not that great. He has to spend like 4 turns healing before he can attack again, but looks like he's just kind of burning through some tonics at this point just to speed things up. Carnoth looting the castle, probably going to go to jail for that. But he's going to see what this chef gives him. So we see a mid tonic and a blue rock. Magic defense plus 12 on the blue rock. That'll be kind of nice for Lavos if we have a need for it, but mostly that would be a robo thing. The other characters that use the blue rock don't necessarily need magic defense. We've also got the Atropos, so I mean, he's not doing too bad on magic defense when we get him, but he could probably still use more. Phone gets through Dalton. A little bit of a slog there. Starting to see the chinks in the armor, so to speak. His early powers kind of leveling off here. Going straight back to it though. Berserker strats for life. And we got an ether for our trouble. So not super happy about that, but we got 3 scaling. Now we know that's not important. Gonna check this castle. So I see a Doom Sickle at the shop here. Oh no, he's selling one, sorry. Got a Pearl Edge, he hasn't equipped it. So he might see like something really good here. Got a Dragon Armor on Phone side, got the upgraded Masamune on Carnoth side, so he's going to have a really good weapon here. So that's normally a key item, but I do have it set to where key items are in shops. They won't be in logic though, so anything you see there, it's not necessary to complete the seed. You can find it through other means, just doing regular checks, just a duplicate. So there was no character at Phone side for the prison break, so we're still kind of hurting for recruits here. Carnoth going for Mount Low, a lot of chests, a lot of tech points from the rebels, pretty good. But also 2 bosses, which you may not be used to if you're coming from, say, Jets of Time. So the first boss here, we got a Rust Tyranno. He hasn't done a whole lot of bosses yet, so his scaling's still pretty low. This boss shouldn't be too bad. He's got his ultimate weapon. Yeah, it's going down pretty quick. So that's a boss where, depending on your prep, it may be a lot scarier. You don't have the fire absorb, you might die. You don't have enough damage to get through it because it does have kind of an inflated health pool. You're probably going to die. But here, no problem. He's not even going to take damage, probably. Alright, so Phone's kind of cleaned out just about everything in 65 million here, as far as like the main land mass. So he's probably moving on. We're gonna see what his next play is. Carnoth gets through the boss. So we got the jerky turn in here. We don't know what it gives yet. And Phone decides he's gonna hold off and see what the bridge is. Gonna go ahead and mark that though. So this was actually right next to his starting location. He just never went there. He kind of went off on a journey. So now he knows where that is. He's got that last portal. Carnoth missing the rubble, and it runs away. So Phone's kind of coming out of the first lap, I guess you could call it. He's kind of, taken one path and explored it all the way through. He's circling back to the start, seeing what he might have missed. He's gonna go down another path, I would say. So selling some stuff here. I assume probably saw something he wants to buy. Carnoth does get the rubble kill over here, so he's gonna get a nice chunk of tech points. Mid-ether. He's got Slurp Cut now. 5 MP, it's a lot better than the vanilla Gets them a little bit closer to Leaf Slash too. As you can see, we can see all of our techs, you know, how much we need for each one, what each one costs. 22 MP, Frog Squash, very good. Potential for Frog Squash strats, Frog Flare strats, Grand Dream strats, all very good. We just really need that strong Frog Squash to make it worthwhile. Phone going for that tab back there. We'll see if it's worth it. Move pretty quick. It's an ether. Whatever. Never say no to an ether if it's free. But a little bit of a time investment. Nothing there. Carnoth going for the Rebel again. So he's really wanting to kind of ramp up his power, get ahead of the scaling, I imagine. Get some good techs online. He's got heal. See Regal Plate there? That's another DS item. Very strong defensive. It also gives stamina, which very good for Frog Squash. Ups the damage of that. So we've got yet another Dragon Armor. Carnoth finds one on Mount Low. So now they're both very strong frogs. Very high power, very high defenses. Looks like he's just going to go for every Rebel. So we got a bridge here, Market, Dactyl Nest. So again, we've got that Zodiac Cape at this shop here, Rainbow Helm, a lot of consumables. So I believe the South Bridge was Dactyl Nest, which Carnoth did not do. Phone almost forgets that check. That could have been very dangerous. He's definitely noting those shops there. Alright, so it looks like we are going to go ahead and try the Dactyl Nest. Small chance we get a Dreamstone there, which would be funny. Probably not going to get it, though. So you'll see, aside from the obvious shuffled enemies, there's actually some new skips here that aren't in the vanilla game. You can kind of walk around this stuff here instead of being forced to fight it, which is cute. I don't know if those rocks are even shuffled. Okay, so the other pendant is at Dactyl Nest here. So if Carnoth goes Dactyl or Phone goes Sewers, we'll have a pendant charge, which in a mode like this, with so many chests behind sealed doors, you know, stuff like the Epoch, it's probably going to be a bit of an important item, I would imagine. Got a ruby gun, so we're going to have to walk all the way down, do the walk of shame. So not seeing any key items on Mount Woe yet. Phone trying to invent a new skip. It does not work. It doesn't work at all. So, if you'll notice, those rebels have like 60 HP, so a single hit would kill him. Carnoth, he's only at like 6 scaling compared to 17 on Phone's side. He's got a lot more relative power compared to the enemies. It looks like he's just going to keep pressing that advantage. Just try to get as far ahead of it as he can, which is good. You know, smooth sailing on bosses. Not to be underestimated after, you know, that Dalton we just went through. So Phone checked for the Epoch there, just in case the settings were messed up. They were not. So he's noting his death peak here. Carnoth gonna see what the boss is, see what's up top here. Phone plotting his next move. Okay, so we got a bike key. I haven't seen if we've run into Lab 32 yet, but if we do, that'll let us cross. Got a bent hilt, so Carnoth hasn't set it up yet, but that'll be good for a turn-in at Tata's house. Phone discovers Kajar. Gonna go through the same kind of disappointment. So up top on Mount Woe on Carnoth's side, we see Guardian. So not a super bad boss. It is a little bit scarier, perhaps, than what you might be used to. Obviously, it scales. The bits are kind of the main antagonist here. If you hit the middle bit, it does that counter. Counter hits pretty hard, but he's also way stronger than he should be, so maybe you can just blast through it. Okay, so he's going for the bits instead. Definitely a smarter strategy. If he maybe had 4 times crit, he might be able to just blast the boss, but this is a little bit safer. So he's going for the leap slash approach. Perfectly valid. It's a lot more consistent than leaning into the 1,000 damage hits of the Berserker 4 times crit strategy. He does have a stronger weapon as well. So we got Rolly Riders in the Desert on phone side. Frog still Berserk. Very funny. We're gonna see how far we can go with this gag. I mean, it works up until it doesn't, right? So Carnoth gets his Rune Blade. Probably won't use it. Probably likes having control of his character, not having to lean into RNG so much. So we got a bridge there. So that's where the jerky turn-in would be. Sunkeep 2300, so we know where both ends of that are. They're actually very close together. Giant's Claw here, that's an objective. He's definitely going for that. So with 2 objectives, we'll open up that sealed portal. That'll take us between Last Village and Mount Woe, which not a vanilla thing, by the way. Totally new. It's good. Good here in Entrance Rando. It's more of like a transition point, but in the normal settings, it'll take you to Last Village, which will give you the North Cape recruit, which is level 37. Very nice. And it'll give you access to the commons, where you can unlock the Sunken Desert by talking to the plant lady, and the Blackbird, which will give you flight if you complete it. So obviously, the objective here, Carnoth is just going to beeline. I don't think he'll have too much trouble. He's still pretty comfortably ahead of the enemy's power. Phone, looking to leverage some of that extra scaling to get a few levels. You know, he did struggle on the recent boss. He's probably going to want to get like a little safety here. So while we don't have a lot going on, let me just go ahead and plug it again. You can play this at ctrando.com. There's a whole bunch of settings you can do. Obviously, this one is a little bit extreme. A lot of information to process. Entrances, 300, 400 different checks. Solo characters, scary stuff, but still doable. But yeah, you can do it a lot more, standard. If you want, you can start with flight. You don't need random entrances. You can have, checks in check spots. Just a lot more, easy to remember play style. But I mean, you can do other crazy stuff with it. You can set every item to be 65,000, so you can sell tonics, get enough money for a rainbow. It's all the same. You can set the text to be in like a random order instead of shuffled, so you can get like a max power tech right at the start if you get lucky. You can pretty much set the objectives to whatever you want them to be. You can set like the thresholds for the objectives to whatever you want. I don't think I went over it, but the 4 rewards, they're the Last Village portal, bucket access for Lavos, Omen access. There's a door at the end that leads to Zeal. It's locked by default, but if you get the objective threshold, you can fight Zeal, take that path to Lavos. And the last one, you can crash the Epoch into Lavos. It'll skip the first phase. It'll skip the requirement for unlocking End of Time and all that. So Carnoth's still going for the Rebels. Really wants his techs. Phone, all he knows is punch, I guess. Luckily, Flea, not a bad boss for this strategy. No real physical resistance. Doesn't hit particularly hard. The Stare counterattack does not trigger if you're solo, so it should be a pretty easy fight. So there are statuses, but when you're Berserk, you cannot be confused, which is probably going to be the biggest nuisance. Blind, I think, applies, poison, sleep, but kind of irrelevant. So we've got Golem Boss. Carnoth's in a lot of trouble here. Hitting, of course, but solo, there's a good chance he doesn't have the damage output to actually kill the boss before it runs away. I think he'll be okay. So one thing I didn't mention, Phone picked up those tools earlier. If he finds all the locations, like the carpenter at the cafe, the carpenter's house, the Northern Ruins location for 600, he can go ahead and fix the ruins. He's got Frog, he's got the Masamune, he can do the Cyrus Grave check. No stat bonus for that here. Tech damage rando and all the other weirdness kind of negates the need for that. But it is a check. It can be an objective. I don't think it is right now. So Carnoth gets through here. Golem Boss was not much of a threat. Let's see what he gets. Load Sword, not great. But he did complete one objective, so that'll put his scaling a lot closer to where Phone was at. So kind of evening the odds here. He's also one objective up, which, I mean, most of the time, what we'll either do the Epoch Crash, if it's kind of freely available. I don't think it will be, or we'll do the Bucket, so he's at 1 of 3 for that. You just gotta do 2 more objectives, do Factory, get to End of Time, which, aside from not having Robo, that's all pretty accessible to him. We do know where Robo is, we just gotta find Cathedral to be able to unlock him. Now Phone's gonna know where Robo is too. So he's got a mid-ether for sale at Snail Stop. Not worth the 9,900, I promise you. You see Tyranno layer down here. It is an objective, but we don't have Ayla, which we need to open the gate to get in there. We do see another Northern Ruins, 1000 version. So not super important, but sealed chests, some extra stuff there. We do see Cathedral, so I'm sure he's going to go straight to that. It's an objective, gets you Robo. Robo leads to Factory, leads to End of Time. Plus, just having an extra character is going to be really nice going forward. Got Dragon Armor for sale, that's nice. Although it looks like there's a few of those in the chests. And we will be checking a lot of chests here, because obviously they're all checks. So Carnoth taking some notes, almost certainly going to Cathedral. If he can get through the boss, that'll put him at 2 objectives. It'll get him his Robo. Phone, kind of hopelessly lost. Hasn't made his way down there yet. It's kind of the peril of just doing stuff instead of exploring. It could be right in front of you this whole time. You could have had Robo pretty much from the start. Could have had that objective from the start. Plus whatever else is in there could be important items. So Carnoth actually going through sewers instead. Not sure where he's going, but he's got a plan, I'm sure. Okay, so little mistake here. He bought the upgraded Masamune. He's going to try to recruit Chrono with it. It does not work that way. normally. So we've got a couple items. They're considered upgradable. We've got the Masamune upgrades to the upgraded version. Pendant upgrades to the charged pendant. Rainbow Shell upgrades to the Prism Shard. And the C Trigger upgrades to the clone. So you always find them in that order. But because he bought the upgraded version in the shop for the weapon, he doesn't actually have the regular one that you need for the recruit. Which, understandable, he didn't know that because normally we don't have those in shops. It's kind of a new thing we're trying. So I would guess his plan there, maybe get that higher level recruit from the burrow. Use that to get higher level recruits at the cathedral potentially. Didn't quite work that way. Although phone, he has that open to him if he knows where to go. He does actually have the right items. So he's also got a level 20 Rust Tyranno, significantly stronger than the one Carnoth bought. I'd say it's got well over 10,000 hit points. Level 20, I mean, typically, like 5,000-6,000 for a boss. Rust Tyranno obviously has disproportionately high HP. If he gets lucky on crits, he can do it. I'm not so sure. I don't think he prepped for this either. I don't think he's got a red mail on, although he does have one. So he might just die from the fire outright, or close to it. Carnoth going to the cathedral. I think he did the fight and did not get a recruit. So we found like 3 dead recruit spots already. There's 9 total, 6 characters, so anything from here forward should have a character in it. Just kind of an unlucky situation. Speaking of unlucky situations, phone's going to take the L here. Just didn't have the damage output. Couldn't heal either because he was berserked. So a little change of strategy here. I think he had the Dragon Tier for the extra crit chance, kind of offsetting the damage loss from not berserking. Red Mail, heal from the fire. And now we'll see how much HP the boss actually has as well. So decent damage loss, only critting for 900. The boss has about 12,000. It's gonna take a while to kill him. And Rust Tyranno, every time he does his fire and resets, his fire damage goes up, which with the red mail, that's actually nice. But he also counts down faster. He'll do 2 5 counts, then he'll do a 3 count. And between each fire phase, he'll also eat you twice for about half your health. So he'll get like a 400 heal or so each round, which is annoying. Especially once he starts counting down, he gets to the point where he just says 3, 2, 1, go, and instantly fires the fire. So kind of a softened rage on this boss. The longer it goes on, the worse it gets. Looks like he got through about half of it before it started healing, so maybe like 3 phases to get it down, possibly. But he also just attacked. Good possibility he gets eaten here. Yeah, he's dead. Okay. So he's gonna reset, possibly run it back. So phone forgetting to put the ruby or the red mail on. Oops. Carnoth, he's got the Aussie trio here. We'll see how this goes. So each one you attack, you'll get a different counter. The fleet counter is the strongest one. It's fire damage. You can heal it. He doesn't have a red mail, or at least not equipped. He's dead. Okay. Phone notices his mistake, resets. So we do have a blackmail on Carnoth's side. He didn't put it on though. He's thinking about it. He's got the ruby vest, maybe hoping to survive the fire damage. I don't think he meant to fight that. Alright, so phone's on his 3rd and a half attempt. 2 deaths, 1 reset because he forgot on. Okay, Carnoth's got his blackmail on, so I imagine what he's going to do here. He's going to hit Ozzy. Ozzy's going to counter with the Shadow triple tech, and hopefully he can just kill the boss that way. If Ozzy dies, they all die. The Ozzy counter doesn't heal nearly as much as the fire ones do, but it might be okay. Enemies aren't super high level yet. Yeah, he's just gonna spam leap slash probably. So phone, this will be the 2nd time that he's maybe been a little overconfident. Wiped to a boss a couple times, trying to play aggressive, get it down quicker. A lot of the time that does work out, it just has not today. So he's definitely going to heal. He's going to make sure he doesn't get killed by the tongue, which is the only real threat, aside from just the boss healing faster than you can damage it. He's still leaning into the 4 times crit. The leap slash might just be outright better at this point, especially if he ends up with a better weapon. It does hit pretty hard though. So Carnoth just leaning into the shadow healing. He might be almost through this. It's like a level 17 boss, equivalent to like a Nizbel or something. So it should only have a few thousand HP. There it is, okay, he's done. So that's 2 objectives for Carnoth. He'll get the Robo. He'll have the factory he'll be able to do to unlock that Proto Dome. And that'll get him end of time. He could potentially just do Specchio, have 3 objectives right there. If he finds Luca, he could do Sunken Desert, he could do Moonstone. He knows where everything is for those things, he just needs the character. Genodome, we haven't seen it, but Robo will let him do that as well. Tyranno Lair, he cannot do, does not have Ayla. Eris Dome, he needs a seed, which he doesn't have, but access to 6 objectives, that's pretty good. If he gets the character, of course. So Phone, I think coming up on the end of this, he's been at it for a while. Safe strategy, not gonna die. Carnoth collects his Robo. We're gonna see what he looks like. Hopefully some good synergy. Although Frog and Robo, the only good thing they do is Blade Toss, and Slurp Pet didn't roll too good. But strong Robo. Got a Kaiser arm. He's got his ribbon already, Dragon armor. He can hit pretty hard. Phone gets through his Tyranno. He'll be on his way up Mount Woe to collect Bent Hilt and Bite Key. Fight the Guardian. So he's coming to Woe at a little bit higher level than Carnoth was. He's 23, Carnoth is like 6. Carnoth is at 24 now because he's got those 2 objectives. That's giving him another 6 scaling. So things are kind of coming together, evening it out a little bit. All that extra exploration paying off pretty well for Carnoth. Got objective advantage, got 2 characters. Phone, you know, he's gone deep on some of this stuff. Hasn't really paid off for him yet. But once he does find the objectives, Giant's Claw, Cathedral, he'll be getting up there pretty quick. He's getting dangerously close to it. So Phone also going for the Rebel. Like I said, a little higher level than Carnoth was. Might be a little bit harder to kill, but if he does kill him, he'll get like a good chunk of tech points. Might put him a little bit higher on the tech point or the tech tree. Carnoth sees something he wants. He's gonna sell some stuff. Get a red mail. Good choice. Son of Sun, very scary boss. Got some Ogins over here. I don't think anybody wants to fight those with no fire. So I imagine probably not going to want to fight a whole lot of things on Mount Woe. Just go for the tech points. One thing I haven't mentioned, 55 minutes in, you've probably noticed, Phone has a shuffler on for the battle music. Got a selection of songs that he likes to have. Gotta set the vibe. That's all available. It's on our Discord. Somebody can help you get it set up. It's very easy. It's just part of the auto tracker, which also on the Discord. So Phone, within like 200 something tech points of getting his Frog Squash. He's got his Water 2, his second best tech basically. Pretty happy about that, I imagine. Carnoth, famous for not liking right side factory. So we'll see how that goes for him. Phone is just kind of killing rocks, so don't even worry about him. If he gets lucky, he might get Frog Squash here. If he doesn't, he won't. Starting to see why he doesn't like factory. Got some good gold there, though. Let's see if he can get through the conveyor without triggering the encounters. That can be a bit of a frustrating experience. You know, enemies shuffle. You get some pretty large packs in there. No time between them to rest up. No skips, anything like that. So it can get a little ugly in there. If you can kill it, like instantly, it's probably about the same amount of time as just skipping everything, but not something you want to do most of the time, unless you really, really want the levels. So Phone nearing the top, he'll get his hilt and his bike key, and that'll put them pretty much on par as far as key items. Phone's got a Masamune, he's got the tools, but otherwise. So it would have been a nice blade toss from Carnoth there, but now he's confused. So he's kind of locked into the fight for a sec. That's unfortunate. That robo was just a little bit faster, maybe. Okay, I can feel the hatred building up now. This is, yeah, he's running. So, Guardian on phone side coming up. Carnoth had a pretty easy time, but he was also relatively a lot stronger compared to the boss than what Phone's going to be. Phone does not know what's up here, obviously. He's going to just do his, silly strat. Very dangerous. 1 in 3 chance that his auto attack hits the boss, and it'll probably kill him in like 1 or 2 hits if he does that. We'll see how it goes. So far, nothing worthwhile in this entire right side. I'm sure he's a little upset about that. I'm sure he's feeling pretty validated for his distaste for this place. Phone, so far, not hit the middle part. Pretty good. Those lasers are probably just going to kill him, though. Also, this crane is very slow. It's kind of a tedious thing. Alright, so Phone did the funny thing, he died. Now let's see if we can find a better approach here. Gonna go for some speed. See if he can squeeze it out in a couple cycles. Rage Band might be okay. I was going for it. Just because it'll get the bits out of the way a little bit faster, probably. As much as they attack, attacking them back half the time when they do it. I'm sure it adds up. Got the Brave Sword on, not going to lean into the crits anymore. I'm just going to spam Leap Slash. We might see how Water 2 does, potentially. Carnoth missing a skip there. Got locked into a fight. Got a tonic for it, though. Alright, so round 2. Bone dying a lot. A little bit out of character, but given the circumstances and the insistence on doing the RNG thing, can't really fault him for it. So I think Carnoth is done with the right side. He should be able to just walk out if he finds the path. We'll go to left side, do whatever boss is there. Unlock his end of time, I assume. Then he'll just be one objective away from being able to finish the run. He'll just need the power for Lagos. I think he needs some status immunity. Probably some better damage output, for sure. But logically, I mean, he's right up there. He just needs to find, like, Luca or something. Cell phone, I think 3 for 3 on, safe strats. Just working better for bosses like this than risky ones. Yeah, they're boring, take a little bit longer or whatever. But it'll get you through it. You did get pretty lucky with the other half of the bosses, where, the risky thing didn't matter so much, you got through it. So, all in all, not losing a lot of time, but, I mean, could have been better. So got one more chest left in the factory, then the boss. Didn't see any key items. So, a little bit disappointing, but just for the end of time access alone, worth it. Factory is often kind of like the last play you make to finish out a seed. You know, it'll come down to a decision, like say you have an objective for Tyranno Lair for the last one, or you can just go straight to end of time through Factory. Factory, a little bit attractive there. Tyranno, just like the Rust Tyranno, kind of a long fight. You've got another boss leading up to it, plus that entire dungeon, which it's not too bad of a dungeon, but like altogether it does take a little while. Carnoth playing it safe, he's gonna go ahead and save. Don't want to lose all that progress if it's like a particularly nasty boss here. Phone, I assume, is close to finishing. May have to do one more cycle of bits. Level 25, you kind of expect like 6,000 HP from a boss, give or take. I didn't actually see what it was, I'll be honest. So as you saw there, we've got a custom animation for each character for holding that door. It's all pretty cute. I'm a big fan of that. Alright, let's see what boss we got here. We got Queen Zeal. So if he has good damage output, not a threatening boss, she'll drop your HP to 1. She'll steal your MP and then she'll throw some balls at you that'll kill you. But if you get her down to half HP before she throws the balls, she'll just reduce your HP again. You can just kill her. She won't actually attack. It's just a damage check mostly. And even if you don't meet the damage check, just heal, and then you won't die. Not a super threatening boss. Drops a mega, kind of nice. So he's definitely getting it under half HP, I think. But he's gonna go ahead and do the safe thing anyway. Phone gets through the Guardian. I don't think it gave anything important, but you can at least say he did it. So the balls do come out. Only hit for like 50 something, so just a single heal of any type will completely mitigate that. We'll see what Phone does next. He's got his crits back. He's just gonna go for that Berserker thing again. Very stubborn. We got a bridge. Gonna save, see what it is probably. If it's like a good key item, we'll just take it, won't reset. If it's crap, probably gonna reset. And Carnoth gets through Zeal. So still comparable scaling wise. A lot of Carnoth scaling, again, coming from the objectives. So Phone has done more bosses, gotten more items. So he did get the other Masamune from this check, although it was for sale in a shop, so maybe what was from the jerky might have been worthwhile. It's good to take a note of that, come back to it later. You know, the jerky thing ends up being crap too. Get a free ultimate weapon there. I'd say most people would probably take the ultimate weapon in this situation. Taking some notes on Keep. Carnoth, doing at level 27 what Phone did at level 1. It's going to be the Mud Imp fight.
We're gonna kind of see the difference scaling makes on a fight like that. It'll have a lot more, resistances, armor, magic defense. Gonna hit a lot harder, obviously, have more health. Probably won't die in 2 hits. We'll see.
So Phone finally made his way down to the gold mine here. Got the Giant's Claw. Cathedral's pretty close as well. That'll be his 2 objectives. Between recruiting Robo, 2 objectives, and 2 bosses, that'll be like another 13 scaling. It'll put him at 41. Getting into endgame range, although only 1 or 2 characters, a little bit scary. Carnoth, working on the Mud Imp. Yeah, a little bit more annoying than what Phone dealt with. Although, in fairness, the Guardian is kind of the opposite. He breezed through that. So, I mean, consequences. Whatever you fight earlier is just going to be easier. So normally in the vanilla game, on the Mud Imp fight, you can probably take the Beast out, and then the Mud Imp, because it'll lose defenses after a while once those are down. It does a heal, it's very annoying. Everything you hit will also counter you. Just a tedious fight all around. A lot of the time we just go straight for the Imp if we can do the damage to take it out. It's kind of balanced for like vanilla when you've got like Lightning 2 maybe as your best tech, but obviously in a randomizer situation we could have some stronger stuff here. Very possible to blitz it sometimes. So there's no blitzing happening today. It's going to be part 2 of the recording. I just woke up. See if I can remember what's going on here. Sorry. So Phone going for the rubble again. I think it was Frog Squash for his last tech. He's probably going to go for that, hopefully. Doing a lot of missing here. So I was talking about blitzing the Mud Imp. I don't see that happening right now. He's just kind of slogging through it. He's almost done. About 250 health left to do. So we're still dead even on scaling, more or less. When Carnoth does this, he'll be at 31. Phone will be at 32 after this boss. Carnoth up by 2 objectives. Phone's actually getting an objective here, so he'll be at 35. Probably not going to have an issue killing the Golem boss, I would imagine. The Mud Imp very stubborn today. So, Phone, I assume, is hoping to kill the boss before it runs away. It's going to be a little bit tricky. Get a little bit of higher level, still a single party member. The problem with running away is, obviously, you don't get experience, you don't get tech points, you don't get drops, but also the scaling does not go up. So, if we're trying to get to level 50, we definitely want to kill it. Or if we're not going to kill it, we just want to just let it run away as fast as possible to save more time. So Carnoth does get through the mud imp. Sees the floating island on the other side. And like I said before, we take a lot of notes in this mode. It's very easy to forget things, as I'm sure we'll see. Even when taking notes, we don't always get it right. So we know Cathedral, very close by to where Phone's at. He's being a little more thorough, going through everything as he finds it. But he will be there soon. He'll get his robo if he can get through the fight. Carnoth finding the fair. Just need a ruby knife to get that recruit there. So we do have Lucas' house for the turn-in. It's nothing good. I think Carnoth also knows where that is. Okay, so Phone is taking a detour, actually. He's going to go through the magic cave. We haven't seen that yet in this run. Carnoth has the upgraded Masamune, but not the original one. So anything that logically requires the original one, like the magic cave, the recruit, I think Cyrus Grave, none of that's going to work for him. So Phone could have an advantage here. He's going to be able to access some stuff probably that Carnoth can't. We'll see if it's anything good. So we have a Carpenter 600. That's going to be one of like 4 places we need to do the Aussie's Fort, Northern Ruin stuff. Gotta get the tools. You gotta find the cafe where the carpenter is. You gotta turn the tools in, go to the carpenter's house. And from there, you've got both versions of the Northern Ruins. He repairs them. You can go do like the Cyrus Grave, get the sealed chests. There's a couple more chests upstairs. It's pretty tedious. We normally skip it just because, like upstairs, there's a lot of mandatory encounters. And in the vanilla game, they're tedious encounters too. Obviously, it's a little different when you have shuffled enemies. So we've got a Zeal Palace here. We've got a parallel shops as well. Dragon armor for sale. Would be nice if we didn't find like 4 of them in chests. So Phone buying some tonics here. If you ever go through Lab 16, it's cheaper to lose a tonic to a rat than 500 gold or whatever. And you do want to get hit by the rats. You're able to skip some encounters with that. You don't actually need the rat to skip any of it, but the rats make it faster because you can cut it closer to the trigger points while the dialogue box is up. Phone gets the new scratch. We'll see if he remembers. Oh, Carnoth gets the Masamune too. So we'll see what he does with that. I imagine he'll get some recruits or something. Phone goes for the pendant charge, gets a rainbow shell. Opens up like 6 chests in the castle, which I'm not sure if he's found both of them yet. Opens up the desert from the plant lady. So when he does go back to that main 600 area, he'll have another check as well. Lab 32, he has a bike key, so he can go through there. So he's got a prism shard. If he does end up finding Marl, that'll lead to like the the actual king trial, which is not an objective, but it does give you like a couple extra checks, like the Melchior, Sunstone, Rainbow Shell stuff. That's worth a good like 3 items right there. Could be something. There's the Carpenter's Wife. That's good for like another check. You just gotta find the lazy carpenter, talk to him, get permission to get the tools from the wife, and so on. So Carnoth going up the Denadoro mountain, I don't remember it having anything good. Looking at the tracker, I think maybe Tools is up there. We haven't seen what Tools leads to yet. Phone finds the ticket office, which is kind of interesting in Entrance Rando. That's pretty much like the only place I can think of, aside from Magic Cave, where one of the exits is always in the same place. So the Magic Cave, it's like a dynamic location. You can go in from the backside, get the chest there. You can't leave until the cave is actually open. You have to go back out the backside. The front side is always in the same place. You get Frog, you get his sword, you bust it open, and where it spits you out, nobody knows. As for the ticket office for the boats, if you do go to one of the land masses like Chorus or Aussie Fort, Giant's Claw, some of the new locations, it'll spit you out like on that actual continent. It's not a real exit. So you have like a guaranteed way to access some of those land masses. Or if you just take like the normal ticket, it'll take you from one ticket office to the other, which is a random exit. And sometimes there's no way out, so you've got to make use of your house warp. If that's something you're not aware of, basically you're on the overworld, you hold the start button, hit select, it takes you to the house. So you just kind of restart from there. You don't lose any progress, it just resets your position, resets the epoch, the dactyl. Carnoth coming to the top of Denadoro here. Phone finds the Fritz shop. No Fritz yet. Silver Rock for sale, has a barrier. Leaf Slash didn't roll super well this seed, so probably not going to buy that. For those not in the know, Spin Strike, it gives you a 4 times crit on your Leaf Slash. No, sorry, 4 times damage on your Leaf Slash. Which, if you have a Leaf Slash doing 2,000 damage because it rolled really high and you've got like a good weapon or whatever, it's going to be 8,000. Very strong. Entirely possible to hit quad 9s with it, with like a good weapon effect or setup or whatever. So got a dragon arm for the Robo here, 60% chance of chaos. Status effects on weapons are nice. Some enemies, bosses, Flee Plus, susceptible to it. Any enemy that has a status on them. Takes like 25% more damage or something, does like 25% less damage. So the threat level is reduced, and while they're confused, they're basically not going to actually do anything to you. Forgive me, a little congested this morning. Struggling to talk. I'm sure it's gonna just degrade as time goes on, as it often does. I'm not somebody that does a lot of talking anyway, so it's kind of straining. Alright, so Carnoth commits to the speed tab. I don't remember what boss was up here, I'm sorry. We'll see. Terra Mutant, I think. Phone finds Fiona's shrine. Has not found where Desert is, has not found Robo, has not found Luca. I think he knows where Robo is, just not the cathedral yet. But we're kind of reaching the end of this whole Magic Cave adventure, so we might see a reset. We might find that cathedral pretty soon. So Carnoth is up to the Terra Mutant now. This was something Phone fought at level 5. He was Berserk. He auto-attacked it, crit for 1,000 damage, one-shot it. I got pretty fortunate there. It looks like it's got about 5,000 HP now. Carnoth is at 32 scaling, so physical damage will not do anything. I might have explained it earlier, but I'll go ahead and explain it again. There's a scaling, physical defense slider kind of thing. So any enemy that's below scaling level 10 will just have a normal amount of defenses. It doesn't matter what enemy it is, Hecarim, Terra Mutant, whatever. You can just auto it. It's kind of like a soft luck protection in case there's a mandatory boss or encounter you need to progress. You've got no magic damage whatsoever. You just need to get through it. Pretty reasonable. And then from level 10 to 30, the defense increases up until 30, where it hits whatever it was in the vanilla game. So if they resist 75% of physical damage, it'll go up to 75% at 30. 99% at 30, whatever. So Phone kind of goofs up the skip there, but he just commits to it. I mean, he's a solo character. We're approaching endgame levels of difficulty here. Got a Doom Sickle, that's nice. Making good use of those tonics. So we've got the main Zeal continent here. There's a Blackbird, Skyway, another transition. This is something you want to find. The thing with the Zeal Palace, the mainland Zeal, Inhasa, whatever, all those floating continents, you can't get there even if you have flight. You have to actually find them through transitions. So there could often be something super important there, and even if you have flight, you just will never see it unless you actually seek it out. So that's kind of a big part of why we go for transition so much. We just really want to be able to see what all we have access to, because there's a very good chance we're going to need it. We want to take notes on where it is, so we can map out how to get there. Like say, from Chrono's house, I can take this transition here and then this one here, and that'll be the quickest way to get there. You'll be doing a lot of walking, obviously, so any optimization, any not getting lost will be very beneficial to you. There'll be a lot of places like, say, Kajar here, you'll want to make a note of. Like, you get 2 of the checks, but you didn't have the new scratch point, so you'll make a note of that. You'll come back to it later. So, Carnoth kind of demonstrating the power of scaling. Phone, like I said, one-shot this boss very early on. It's kind of a gross one. It does a lot of status. HP reduced to 1. Not as high damaging as some of the other mutants for whatever reason, but every bit as annoying. You have to kill the top piece. You can't really damage the bottom one. It'll just counter, bring your HP to 1. And it heals itself off the bottom one up to 20 times. So kind of like a DPS race boss. Like any extra turns you take, that's possibly another turn that gets offset by healing. It adds up. Sometimes the strategy is just to straight up let it suck the bottom dry. Do that 20 times, and then it'll cast halation, interestingly, and then die. Takes a while, but sometimes, you're in a pinch. It's the best thing you can do. I believe Phone just turned in the rainbow shell, so if he finds that other castle, he'll be set up for that. So back on track here, back from the magic cave. Double checking Luca's house, just in case. So we've got Laruba Ruins. The only thing we can do here right now, we can just talk to the new, get an item, maybe change our name to Brog or something. If we have the Dreamstone, we can talk to the Elder, and he'll just make the Dactyl available without having to go up the nest. Now, the reason you would do that, instead of just going up the Dactyl nest, obviously it saves like 2 minutes, but going up Dactyl nest, often a good play, just because you get a character at the top there. They're usually like level 20 with 2 or 3 techs, so if you find them early enough, you might as well just do that. Obviously, a good chance, like 1 in 3 chance that nothing is up there. But at that point in the game, you've kind of got like a good idea of what's dead and what's not. You go to the fair, there's a character there. Go to the cathedral, there's a character there. Back in cathedral, there's a character there. Well, suddenly you've got 3 characters left to recruit, and 6 recruit spots, 50-50 chance any given recruit is going to be dead. Whereas, you do all those checks and don't find a single character in any of them, then every single remaining check, 6 out of 6, is going to have a character. So you can kind of, weigh your decisions off that. Not an exact science, but I mean, if you already know where all 3 of your dead ones are, and you have the option to go to Death Peak, you might as well take it. If you're level 10 going up Death Peak, you might be 20 by the time you get to the top, because you got to fight 3 bosses there. But the recruit there will be level 37, and they're going to have a full tech list, which is very good. It's definitely something you want to do. It could really carry your entire seed. Even if it's not a very good character, you put them in the front of your party, anybody you recruit will be that same level, that same tech level. So Carnoth gets through Terra Mutant. I feel like that took a while. I wasn't timing it. But he gets his speed tab, so I'm sure that'll offset it. So that is another feature with this rando. Actually showing off a couple features here. The Denadoro Mountain, the little kids at the top will let you peek what the item is. They'll say like, are you here for the speed tab? Are you here for the pendant? Whatever. You can say no, and it'll kick you back out to the save point, basically. You can just leave if you want to, but usually we just fight it anyway. No real harm in doing it unless, like, it's a boss you can't do. And you just know you can nope out safely. Phone, it's been like a minute since we saw it, but in the cathedral, in that first room, you can fight the Nagas, or whatever the enemy ends up being. And, you know, get a character off that. Unfortunately, it was a dead check, so no character came down. You do not need to play the organ to open the door. The door is just open, so, you know, if you feel like you've got a good enough party, you're late enough in the game that you don't want to make a change, or you just plain want to solo, instead of fighting that fight, you can just walk in and go through the door and proceed to the back, which can be pretty quick. I mean, if you go in, you know, you skip all the chests, just go straight to the boss. It takes like a minute or two. It's not bad at all. So I think kind of the main thing we're seeing with the seed so far, we've got two pieces of the pendant and the pendant charge. One of them is on Dactyl Nest, which Carnoth has not gone to, and the other's in Sewers, which Phone has not gone to. He saw it, he did not go in it, he actually proceeded like farther down the map. There were two transitions in that 680 Truce Village, and he just has not done either one of them. And then Carnoth, he's probably holding out for the Dreamstone, so he can, you know, not go up there twice, maybe get a character off it. Carnoth does recruit Chrono. He's got some decent stuff. No ultimate weapons or anything, unfortunately. In the Burrow chest, we've got an Aeon suit. I believe it was Aussie Trio in Cathedral, which with phones set up, it's going to be interesting. So he's going to reset, do some prep. Carnoth does a house reset. So the allowance is a Terra arm with +4 magic. Obviously really good item, but because he's got a dragon arm with the status effect on it, he's probably not going to even take that off for any reason. So Phone's gonna gear change here. Looks like he's gonna proceed with a little bit of hubris. He's got the red mail on. He's got the berserker. He's got the 4x crit weapon. So if he ends up hitting Super Slash, Flee Plus, they'll counter with a very high damage Fire Elemental dual or triple tech. They'll give him some healing. So 2 in 3 chance every turn he gets like a full free heal. So far 2 attacks landed on Ozzy. So no healing there. If he had the black mail on, he'd be laughing right about now. but Berserk, no control of his character. I imagine this is going to be fatal. Yeah. So maybe future change of strategy. Maybe just goes for it again. Hopes to get lucky. So he does have the Dark Helm on as well, so that that shadow attack will do significantly less damage. It's like a 56% reduction. So, you know, doing everything he can do to stack the odds in his favor, aside from having control of his character, obviously. But it all kind of hinges on not attacking Ozzy 3 turns in a row, which, you know, you'd think Berserker 1 in 3 chance he hits Ozzy any given turn. Well, that's 4 in a row right now. What are the odds of that? High enough, apparently. So Carnoth, he's got his 1080 castle. I think his first time seeing it right now. Gonna grab some chests. Doesn't have the rainbow shell. Doesn't have Luca, so he can't go to the prison. If the prison is a dead check, Luca is required. She's the one to break you out. If there is a character there, they'll just be right at the entrance, and you know you'll recruit them as you're busted out. Prison, kind of a scary check. Something you usually want to wipe out early. It's a 2-person check. So even if you got 3 party members, it'll just be your party leader plus Luca or the recruit, whoever breaks you out, against, you know, a potentially scary boss. Fortunately for us, though, probably don't need it. There's only a single check in prison, and it's the one right after the boss. Very good chance it's just a random item. So Phone has regained control of his frog. He's also got, looks like, a rage band on. So he'll be receiving a lot of incoming fire, but half the time he's gonna counter. About 20% of the time he counters, he's also gonna crit for 1,000 damage. So assuming he doesn't die, he'll probably get through this, obviously, but he should be able to do it. Just gotta keep farming those heals. For full experience, you're gonna want to kill Super Slash and Fleet Plus. Don't let them run away. Carnoth fighting Dalton Plus, showing off, you know, one of the more fun techs, Blade Toss. Normally, it's kind of a, you know, irrelevant crap tech that you never use because it uses like Slurp Cut and Laser Spin or something, and it only does 2 times Slurp Cut damage. But you know, in this rando, you know, maybe your Slurp Cut might roll a little bit higher. You might be able to Blade Toss for 1,500 damage or whatever. Interesting property of Blade Toss. It's a line damage tech, and it's physical. So, you know, like Slash, Flame Toss, those kind of things, but not magical. So you could do some interesting strats with that. Like put Robo in the on the right side on Lavos 3, and you can Blade Toss the middle and left bit at the same time, and just really blast them down. So Carnoth opting for like a fully physical Dalton Plus strategy. Absolutely 100% understandable. It's a boss that doesn't have a lot of health. Its regular attacks are not super bad. Physical counters with Iron Orb can't actually kill you. And it's a low HP boss too. even though it's, one of the more threatening bosses we have, if you just, don't kill yourself on it and put some good damage out, it goes down pretty quick. Magic, though, if you hit Dalton Plus with magic, he will hit you with magic back, and he's got very strong magic. So you may have, a 4,000 damage, I don't know, glacier or something, and it'll nearly kill him, but he might also, counter with magic that does 90% of your party's HP. So you're going to have, a situation where you also want like really good party healing, or, just spam physicals, whatever. Phone gets through his fight, kills those two at pretty much the same time. He's counting HP, switching back and forth. So that'll bring us pretty much on par with each other. Phone's got 36 scaling, the boss will get him to 39, objective get him to 42, and then recruiting Robo gets him at 41. So we're pretty much in the end game as far as like enemy character power goes. Carnoth, when he gets through Aussie Fort, if he gets through Aussie Fort, I believe he'll be at 42. It's not an objective, but there's like 7 chests in here. Potentially useful. Could be something he needs. I don't remember if there is. I want to say there was a jerky in here. And then, both the 2 objectives. We know where Factory is. We know where Robo is. So if we get that 3rd objective, we should be able to get to End of Time. And from there, fight Lavos through the bucket. We could also do the Black Omen if we get Flight. We've seen the Blackbird. We've not seen the Jets of Time item that we turn in at the Blackbird to fight the Epoch boss, get our Flight. There's also commons. If we have 2 objectives, the Algeti portal unlock, we can do the Blackbird, get Flight that way. Doesn't require any items, just requires the portal to be open. Which it should be. We've got our 2 objectives. So I would say they just haven't found the commons yet. I don't think I've seen it. So Phone here, he likes to do this thing where he clears the cathedral boss first, loots it after, saves some encounter time. No mandatory king and queen room snake thing encounter. No mandatory bromide encounter. Doesn't have to skip anything, no dialogue. So it takes like an extra 10 seconds to walk back in and out of the place, but overall, a little bit of a time save. The only potential issue with that, if there is like a good item in one of those chests that'll, make you a lot stronger for the boss, you'll miss out on that initially, which, if you take a couple extra turns on the boss, then it will be a time loss. But I don't think there was any item that could have made that boss any quicker, honestly. Solo Frog versus Aussie Trio, not ideal. Especially when you're like level 40. Alright, so Phone finally committing to the jerky. I think the bridge jerky check was not anything we wanted. I think it was just Frog's ultimate weapon. Who cares about that? Not Frog. Carnoth, very wisely doing a safety save before whatever nightmare was about to be unleashed at this boss. I think it was Gato, Yakra, Super Slash. So heavy physical. They've got like a pretty good physical party. Shouldn't have much trouble with it. Alright, so Phone's gonna go ahead and commit to the factory. Not an objective, but potentially there's some key items in there. In the chest, whatever. Also opens up End of Time if we get to Proto Dome. Which, there's gotta be logical access to it somewhere. Whether it's behind flight or behind something silly like flight plus Thomas Pop or a desert turn in or something. It'll be somewhere. So I believe Carnoth did this earlier. Had a little bit of trouble skipping encounters, messing with the crane. Probably took another extra minute or two just getting the chests. He's notorious for not liking the factory. So we'll see if this goes smooth on Phone's side. He very, very rarely comes here. So you want to wait for the two robots that are clustered together. Otherwise, you're not going to be able to make it to the next set of stairs on time. Good use of Blade Toss by Carnoth there, hitting both enemies. He's also got Slash on Chrono, so he could really be doing some line damage right now. Needle Spin hits for about 350. Scary, threatening, but unless he's using it every turn, this boss is probably going to go down pretty quick. So on the crane, it turns out if you just hold every button, that might not actually work. But you can do XA to remove one barrel and then BB to remove the other. It's a very tedious process. About fell asleep watching that. So I mean, at 150, the crane started moving. It's been 9 seconds already. Hasn't even got to the barrel yet. It's definitely a painful chest, especially when it ends up being nothing. But it'll let you exit quicker. I mean, what was that, like 30 seconds? That's really bad. That was just for a single barrel. So in a race setting, not Chronosanity, no key items in chests, you're probably not going to do that one. I think that's a safe assumption. Unless, you're coming up on the end of the run and you just do not have anything, no status protect, no good damage. You're desperate. Sure, why not? It'll be the play that nobody else does. Maybe it works. probably doesn't. But it'll be a fun story if it does. And we do love our fun stories. So I have to imagine Carnoth is coming up on the end of this fight. He's got his jerky. He's up to 40 scaling. This boss will put him at 43. Phone's also at 43, I believe. Yes. So, you know, completely different routes, completely different approaches. Still kind of neck and neck. Neither one has found the path forward. If I were a betting man, I would say that whole pendant situation, where they both got different parts of it from different places, probably a factor. Entrance rando, like especially with these settings, it can be upwards of 3 hours sometimes. Just through like sheer amount of checks. Sometimes not so bad. Sometimes you can do it in like 90 minutes. You know, if the stars align, you get everything you need. No big puzzles to solve. But, you know, just looking at, you know, you start with a single character, you've got to get to level 50, you've got to be able to beat a vanilla powered Lavos. You know, you got to find your gear, got to find your status immunity, got to find key items, got to get your objectives done, got to find recruits. All on top of like a shuffled map. No guarantees of where key items are. The math is just kind of against you. Especially here, where they're, you know, finding not a whole lot of good stuff. We've got 6 objectives still on the table for both of them. Geno Dome, we have not seen. We can do it. We do have Robo. Moonstone, we do have the Moonstone on Carnoth's side, it looks like. He just needs to find a Luca, which that could be anywhere. Tyranno Lair, we know where that's at. We need Ayla, we don't know where she is. It's also kind of a hard boss, especially in the late game. Very high hit points, very high fire damage. Azala, also nothing to sneeze at. Gets up to like 8,000 HP. Can only be damaged by magic, and that only gets you to phase 2 of the fight. We've got Sunken Desert, which we know where it is. Bone has already cleared it. He just needs to turn it in. Speaking of Phone, he's leveraging the boss mechanics here. It brings his HP down to 1. He's got that 22 MP Frog Squash. Doing about 2,800 damage a pop. If the boss goes down below 50% HP, it'll just keep spamming Halation until it dies, basically. So no actual threat of dying here. Almost certainly just not gonna heal. If he got it down to, you know, below half HP before it even takes a second turn, well, I'd say he's pretty safe. So that Bubble Snap is about 2,900, so more than even a max power Frog Splash, but because it takes 2 turns, we're just not going to use that anymore. Carnoth now ascending Dactyl Nest. He should get his pendant charge here. We'll see what he does with it, see what that opens up. I'm sure he's gonna pause here and, you know, complain about that. There we go. Okay, he's back. I'm sure he's feeling a sense of dread right now. He could have had that from, 10 minutes into the run, possibly. If he went here. If he, made those decisions. But what he doesn't know is that Phone forgot where the sewers was. Speaking of Phone forgetting, he's checking some notes, figuring out like what can be done at this point. It's not much. Potentially gonna check some transitions maybe that weren't checked before. Carnoth also tries to do the reverse skip there, which it may be possible, but because there's never been a reason for anybody in history to ever go back down that ladder, the tech has not been discovered yet. Quite possibly not possible. So again, he's probably kicking himself about that. Charge pendant, like I've said, very important. Opens up a lot of extra chests. Opens up Keeper's Dome, which will get you the Epoch, if you know where that's at. Which, in itself can open up some land masses. I don't think we've seen like the main continent of 12,000 yet. Alright, so Phone is going to go through the basement here. He cannot get the key item yet. He doesn't have Marl, but he can see what it is. So we got a Star Sword, Gold Rock. Gold Rock, very nice. Grand Dream Tech. 2.5 times Frog Squash damage. Requires a Frog Robo Marl, which he's got 2/3 of that. He's got a very strong Frog Squash, so we may see that. Got a Rainbow. He can get Chrono, he just has to find him. 60% stop, very good. It's very hard to pass up a Rainbow Chrono. You have to find like a really special party to ignore that. So unfortunately, nothing actually progression-wise there. Phone pulls out his map, he's looking at it. Carnoth, I think, is also, panicking. There's definitely a sense of impending doom right now. It's a race setting. Both players have to imagine that they've made some mistake that the other person did not. They've kind of exhausted all the checks they can think of, more or less. There's very few things on the table that they can actually access as of now. But of course, Carnoth, he's got the charge pendant. So Phone looks like he's got an idea. So one change with this randomizer, you can just grab both of these chests. You're coming from, say, the vanilla game. You know what's in the chest. You can just pick which one you want. If you're coming from Jets of Time, another Gold Rock. So, Grand Dream on the table for both runners. Phone gets a tonic stolen, while Carnoth gets a tonic. I guess perfectly balanced. But yeah, if you're coming from like Jets of Time, you would open the sealed pyramid up, then you'd go out and save, then you'd grab one, reset, grab the other one. if you see something good on the first one, but the second one sucks, you'd reset again. A little bit tedious. We just let you grab both. It's only fair. So because we turned in the desert quest, this whole check opens up. Fiona's Shrine, turned into North Cape. So we've got our Marl here. You get a little peek before the boss spawns. If there's a character here, they'll show up. They'll teleport behind you. They'll say nothing personnel, kid, whatever. Then you fight the boss. You'll get the recruit afterwards. So our series, famous joke boss in Jets of Time especially. Not necessarily any worse here. However, if you can't kill them all together, if you can't kill them in like 2 turns, they do start attacking. They do hit very hard. If you can't kill them all together, if 2 die, they'll start countering. So for every one you hit, they'll do a counter. The counter will hit your entire party for pretty good physical damage. So we've got a Spell Slinger. That's a DS item on Carnoth's side. It's a Luca weapon. Normally it does Crisis MP, which is essentially the same as, the regular Crisis, except based on your MP. So if you have, like, say, 99 MP, it'll take the last digit, 9, and multiply your attack damage by that. Very strong, because unlike with Crisis, if you're fine just auto-attacking, well, you'll pretty much be guaranteed to keep it at a 9, unless you recover MP or use a tech or something. Unfortunately, the Spell Slinger, while it does have like good damage, good crit chance, it did not roll that effect. It rolled like a 60% slow or something. I can't remember. So Phone, he's got his Marl, he's got his Prism Shard, Rainbow Shell. It's a risky play, but we're kind of in desperate times here. He could absolutely go for the King's Trial. It'll open up a single check for now because he doesn't have the Sunstone. But, at this point, he forgot about the sewers. He forgot about that other transition. What's even on the board for him? It's hard to say. Grabbing this fight just to get whatever dual techs we can. You see we've got Grand Dream. He's got the gold rock equipped on Frog. I'm sure he intends to use it. That's a very deliberate decision to make. Carnoth gets the scratch point, gets the desert entrance, not the actual desert. So when you talk to that plant lady on the 600 AD map, that little whirlpool in the desert opens up. It's another check. Same thing kind of with the Giant's Claw location. The Thomas Pop in Entrance Rando, it does not open up Giant's Claw. It opens up, whatever is where Giant's Claw was. So it could be anything. That could be where your flight access is, which would be really weird. You'd have to like take a boat there. I don't think we've seen that happen yet, but I can't rule it out. So Carnoth is kind of on that path that Phone was. Going through these weird transitions, finding a bunch of stuff. I don't know if any of it was worth anything in the end. Prism Shard, I guess. He can't turn it in, though. Looking at the tracker, I don't think there was anything else. Aside from, like, entrances for the Proto Dome, maybe.
possibly some dungeons. Obviously, we've got like Carpenter's wife and such. So we're gonna see what that is here. Phone's gonna go ahead and do the King's Trial for that single check. So power tab here. So far, charge pendant has not paid off. So phone, we'll see what boss he's gonna fight here. Carnoth, he's got the ticket office, taking some notes, scribbling furiously. No gate key yet, so we can go to the poor exit, wherever that is, and then the chorus island. So we got a regular Nizbel. Thankfully, we do have shock. If we did not, this would be dead. So there's a little bit of safety here in the randomizer. I'm told that Chrono cannot logically be behind Nizbel. So that's a little bit of intel. Whatever we get here will not lead to Chrono whatsoever. Which probably doesn't mean anything, because I'm sure Melchior is going to give us like a mid-ether or something stupid. So phone's up to scaling level 50, Carnoth not far behind. So this is kind of a good picture of like what an endgame boss looks like. Nizbel's got like 18,000 HP and some change. The discharge, I'm sure, will hurt very much, but somebody's got to do it. There it goes. So we'll have to shock the boss again. Yeah, 2 of those I think would wipe the party outright. Phone using Frog Squash, but not shock the boss. Still did 78 damage though. Nothing to sneeze at. Carnoth gets a new check here. Got a power glove. It's so bad. Alright, so we're going to see Grand Dream, the power of 2.5 times Frog Squash. He's only missing like half his health, but I mean, this is still going to slap. 5,600. Pretty obscure tech. People rarely make use of Frog Squash in the first place. Getting the gold rock, with this party, not something people would do intentionally. Coming from like Jets of Time, for example, where like you're level 30 by the end of the game, 34, whatever. You're only gonna have like 500 hit points, even with the gold earring. You're not gonna see the full potential of Frog Squash. It's also based on your stamina, so it really adds up. Like, as you get more hit points, as you get more stamina, like it becomes a very strong tech in the late game. Which, that's kind of where we're at here. Once you get that HP maxed out, you get a good Frog Squash. Frog Squash alone might do 3,000 or more, even without like Prism Specs or Sunshades or whatever. And 2.5 times that, well, you're pretty happy about that. So we got our first high five for a long while. They're both in the same room at different stages of the quest, but we'll take it. So we get an amulet. That's
obviously very good. Lavos, every single phase has a group-wide status effect. The first two phases, we've got Confuse that goes out. You can mitigate it with amulets, Prism Helm, Vigil Hat, Nova Armor, Sidecap. Sidecap does Chaos. Or if you do like Berserker strats, which not a lot of people do on Lavos, but in certain situations, we've definitely done it. That's also immune to Confuse, obviously. So we've had situations where, like, we get a Dream Seeker. It's like an upgraded version of the Rainbow, essentially. 90% crit, very high damage. It also gets like 4 times crit on it sometimes, which when it does that, you know, your auto attacks are probably going to hit for like 2,800 damage. You throw a Berserker on, you throw a Haste Helm on, well, suddenly you're pumping out like 3,000 damage every 5 seconds. It's very good. On Lavos, you know, there's a few wrong answers as far as who you auto attack, but not very many. You know, the first phase, you just kill it very quickly. Second phase, you know, 2/3 chance you hit an arm. Then the face, it's just, you know, one enemy. You can't mess that up. Final phase, you know, you take one bit down, suddenly there's no wrong answers as far as auto attacks. AoE with the middle bit down, obviously not good, but you're not doing that. So Carnoth found the hunting range. The new there is an item. It is a check. It didn't look like it was anything good. We got Tata's house here. He does have a bent hilt. He has initiated this quest, so we'll get a shelter here. Normally that is a key item check. You know, you go up to Inadoro, you see him run away. You turn in like a bent sword or a bent hilt, he'll give you an item, key item. Really scraping the bottom of the barrel here. Like both of our runners, they've almost certainly overlooked something. They're pretty diligent note takers, but you know, sometimes you just mess up. There's like 350 checks in this mode. Entrance, you know, it's a lot. It's very much. So Phone, I think, sees his mistake here. We've got our sewers. So he's going to have the pendant charge. I don't think it's led to anything worthwhile for Carnoth. So not like a huge loss, but it could also mean, you know, he goes and pursues all those chests and doesn't actually get anything for it. Alright, so Carnoth has the trading hut as well. We do have it set to where, like, it rolls 13 random pieces of gear. And before you, I want to say before you get to Zeal, it's like the 6 worst items that it generated. And then after that, it'll be, you know, the 6 better items that it generated plus the best one. Will be sold by the old man for 9 materials apiece. The first tier is 3, second tier is 6. So with enemy shuffle, you can't really farm the hunting range. With drop shuffle, you can't really do it either. So really, it's like a new thing. You know, if you kill the new 3 times, you can buy, you know, what's considered to be the ultimate piece of gear there. We saw some good stuff. I think Black Rock, Prism Helms were there too. But it's a question of, you know, do you want to go through the time it takes to kill the new twice to get a single Prism Helm? Maybe in the end game, you know, if you really need it, sure, whatever. it's not random. You can just do it. Get 1, get 2, get 3. Have fun. Knock yourself out. Phone's gonna get his pendant charge here. He gets his robo ribbon, which he's happy about. Carnoth desperately trying to figure out what he missed. He takes this cave transition, which Phone actually has not taken either. Carnoth may have taken it, I don't remember. But they're getting pretty close to each other. They're both, obviously basically endgame ready. They're both more or less in the same location. Phone's gonna recruit Chrono here. So we got Bangor Dome. There's a sealed door here. It's got like 3 chests behind it. 2 or 3, I can't. 3. And there's the Dreamstone. So, very good possibility. This is what we were looking for this whole time. Phone, thankfully, is right in the area. Because he went through sewers and just now got his pendant charge, I'm sure he's going to want to use it. And Protodome also happens to be right here, so we've got our end of time access. The reason Dreamstone is so attractive right now, Dactyl Nest, obviously. We can get, flight on the 65 million map with the Dactyl. For whatever that's worth, it's hard to say. But more importantly, there's very likely a character up there. Now, if you remember what we were saying earlier about objectives, we only need 1 more. We know where the Tyranno layer is. We know where the Moonstone turn-in is. We know where the Sunken Desert turn-in is. So, if there is a character up on Dactyl Nest, you got Luca on the table, Ayla on the table, Magus on the table. Now, 2 of those 3, they will give you direct access to one of those objectives. But we'll have everything we need for it. So, very good chance the Dreamstone was the key. It might be the Nightmare Stone today. So, Carnoth charging that chest, that's something you can do. If you see a Rage Band in a chest, you say no. You go to the future version of that chest, you'll get a Frenzy Band. Whatever the preview says it is, there will be an upgrade version of that item type. So like you see a Chrono weapon, it'll turn into a better Chrono weapon. So not entirely random. More like shuffled from what the vanilla game would give you, kind of thing. Sunkeep 600. So we got the Moonstone there. Carnoth already got that, luckily for him. So now, like I said, everything's pretty much on the table. We get that Luca, we're set. We get that Ayla, we're set. We'll just see if anybody goes to Dactyl Nest, see if it's actually anything there. There's a chance it's not, but at this point in the run, it's looking pretty good. Carnoth going for it. Phone is doing something. I'm not sure. I think he's gonna pull out his map here. Okay, he's got a plan. Saving. Yeah, we're going for it. So a little bit of a head start for Carnoth here. We'll see if we can make up some distance. So interestingly, he's not doing the pause buffering. He's just kind of raw dogging it. Didn't work. A for effort though. So the pause buffering here, you move like 2 pixels to the left after setting up by going up that diagonal wall. Go straight up. You'll kind of I don't know what you call it. You get pulled onto the ladder essentially and skip the encounters. So we do have the Luca here. We could just go straight to Moonstone, finish out the run. We could also do Desert if we're feeling we need some extra levels or something. We want to save Laura's legs. Saving Laura's legs kind of validates the run, let's be honest. It takes a while though. So I think I saw a good flare on Luca there. If you're familiar with the game, flare and frog squash, that's definitely something that you like to see paired together. So it looks like that might be what Carnoth is going for. He's got a Regal Gown. That's I think it gives like shield and barrier. It's a DS item, very strong. So putting a little speed on Luca, immunity on Frog. Sticking with the Chrono Rainbow. So little divergence in the strategies here. Bone, I think, leaning into the Grand Dream, Carnoth, maybe Frog Flare plus whatever Chrono text he has. I don't remember. Phone, relying on his memory, didn't work. Checks his map. So we're definitely getting the Moonstone here. That'll put him in go mode. Unfortunately, while he did do the factory, and he knows where Protodome is, he did not actually go to End of Time, so he's going to have to walk there. Carnoth doing something. Maybe getting some chests. Maybe he was thinking, I'm gonna go turn in the Moonstone. Oh wait, no, that's not the place for it. Crap. It's hard to say. We'll have to ask him. So we got a Ruby Knife there. That technically puts him in go mode as well. Charge Pendant, Ruby Knife. You can go through the Ocean Palace and fight the hard version of Lavos. Not recommended. It's got like 30,000 HP and like 16 speed. And it does like, a million damage to your party every turn. And confuses them. So interestingly, we got a gate key from that Moonstone turn-in. So we don't actually need to go to Protodome for End of Time. We have 4+ party members. We have a gate key. We just go through a gate. We'll get there. Unfortunately, we currently don't have a marker that says like this is a gate location. We should probably put one on there. So he's thinking like, okay, which one of these transitions will get me there? I don't know. Maybe we'll try Keeper's Dome. Maybe because we have logical access to End of Time, we can just go there with the Epoch. It does not work that way. We got a Jerky though, that's nice. Not that we need it. So, we still got Luca in the party. On the phone side from when he turned into Moonstone. We'll see if he sticks with it. So yeah, no End of Time. So he's kind of wasted a little time trying this. We're just looking for a gate or a Protodome. We know where Protodome is, but we maybe we don't want to walk there. I think that's fair. It was kind of buried. So interestingly, Carnoth going into the desert rather than turning in the Moonstone. Maybe he forgot. I'm not sure. Maybe he just wants the boss. A little bit of extra loot, never hurt anybody though. Phone looks like he's on his way. he did put Frog back in. So expect to see like a lot of chonky boys falling from the sky. Probably a good amount of damage going out from that. Carnoth, he's got his frog flare. So we saw on Carnoth's side a minute ago, there's an amulet at end of time. So there will be 2 amulets, I think. I don't know if we have any other immunity. I don't know if we need any other immunity. 2 is pretty good. You can have like 1 character just throw a heal real quick. Not a big deal. So only Frog can equip the gold rock, unfortunately. So he's not going to be status immune. But whatever. He'll be okay. Alright, so Frog, Carnoth, he's got a frog in his party, sorry. Carnoth going for the desert. He's going to get his objective off that if he turns it in. He's already got end of time unlocked, so he'll be, heading to Lavos pretty quick here. Phone finally committing some tabs. Amulets going out. So it hurts a little bit. We lose a lot of, potential power from accessories. No dash rings, no prism specs. I don't know if we have those. No sunshades. But for Grand Dream, I don't think you're all that upset about it. It's very strong. On Lavos, he does a lot of damage, so getting into a good HP range to use it's not hard. Physical AoE, very effective on that boss as well. Both arms can be hurt by physical. The face can be hurt by physical. The first phase can be hurt by physical. Lavos 3, the left bit will pretty much instantly die to physical. The middle bit can be hurt by physical. The right bit can be hurt by physical. So there's no, absolutely no stopping like a good physical AoE. It is the play if you have it. It is unfortunately a little bit rare. Like you'll need, a good frog squash, dino tail, Grand Dream, Falcon hit, also a good one. You have a good spin cut and a good chrono weapon. None of that's guaranteed. A lot of the time, probably more often than not, you'll have ice tackle that you lean into, or something like that. It just really depends on the seed. There might be the potential to do it, but potential doesn't always mean it's gonna come available to you. Like you might not find the character for the optimal tech. You might not get the gear for it. Any number of things could go wrong. It's more a game of like leaning into what you do have rather than fishing for what you could have. Obviously, if what you could have just happens to fall into your lap, that's not so bad. Like this seed, for example, we weren't fishing for the frog squash techs, the frog flare, the Grand Dream, whatever. It just kind of worked out that way. We got what we needed for it. Could have easily been something different, like Falcon hit seed or whatever. Could have never found the gold rock. Could have never found Luca. Frog could have ended up being useless aside from the frog squash. So maybe we don't even want him, kind of thing. Alright, so Carnoth, he's gonna kind of do his thing. He's gonna go to the end of time, probably start his Lavos pretty soon. He's got to figure out where the desert turn-in is, which he has found it. It's just a question of, well, how do I get back there? And then how do I get to the, the shrine for that turn-in?
So we'll let him do his thing. We're gonna watch what Phone does here. So nipple lasers, very dangerous, much more so than probably you're used to. In the vanilla game at this point, you're basically guaranteed to have access to like prism helms, and you're probably going to be a little bit higher level than you will be here. If you go to like Black Helmet, for example, I'm sure you'll be above 50, at which point Lavos is not very hard. I didn't look at what level we were, but typically we end these seeds somewhere, between 45 and 50. 45 is very scary, 50 fairly safe, but you can still die if you're, unlucky or just you got a little bit of the hubris in you, which we've definitely seen some of this run. For example, this frog has 24 HP right now. Anything will kill him. But if it doesn't, I mean, it's all going to work out. So, like I said, Vanilla Lavos, left arm's got like 8,000, right arm's got 12,000. Again, if you're coming from Jets of Time, that's a little bit stronger than what you're used to. But I mean, it's not necessarily harder. I don't want to like misinform the public. It possibly takes a little bit longer. You got to be a little more careful. Your turn usage, I guess you could say, your turn economy, consumables, because it's a longer fight. You probably want to use more consumables. You probably want to have more. You gotta prep for it. There's no the status effect is not random. It's always going to be confused. So you can kind of plan around that. You do obviously want status protection, but you can get through it without it painfully, mind you. Just kind of a different vibe. Alright, so the big boys are coming out. We see 7,300 damage. One or two more of those, and this fight's over. Carnoth saving his mom's legs. Thank you, Luca. You've done a great service to us all. We do like to see Laura standing. We don't like to hear her scream. We don't like to see her sitting down. It's very depressing. Okay, so Phone gets through this this phase. So the menu glitch is here. Unlike in Jets, there's no free menu glitch. You've got to time it right, but if you know how to do it, it's not really that bad. Let's be real. You also get this dialogue here, which is kind of interesting. If you fight the boss solo, one character has to do all the dialogue, so you'll see some stuff that maybe wouldn't otherwise be viewable in the regular game. For example, if you're solo Ayla, she'll say like Lavos smells like her people and the reptites and the dactyls. It smells like everything she knows. Which a little bit of trivia. I'm sure 99.9% of people that play this game did not know that. But now you do. So we did hit the menu glitch. We're going to do a little setup. Thinking about the boss. What's going to help us succeed the most? Probably some speed. Definitely, recover the MP. Frog is still low HP. We're going to try to squeeze in Frog Squash, Grand Dream, all that. Hopefully, get the boss down before it kills us. Like I said, physical AoE, highly effective. Carnoth, going for the recruit. So he potentially could also be, on Lavos 2, Lavos 3 right now. They got Luca at the same time. He had end of time access, which Phone did not, so he had the potential to possibly squeak out a win here. But, you know, a little over prep, maybe forgot where the Moonstone turn-in was. Maybe not feeling as confident, which understandable. You know, this is a boss that really asks a lot of the player in terms of like damage output, in terms of character speed, consumables, magic defense, status immunity. You know, you're essentially spending the entire run prepping for this thing. If you have the prep, obviously it's not that bad, but trying to get through it without the prep, it gets a little scary, a little hairy. I had a run yesterday where I was level 45. I had no status immunity. I had like 1 mega, 1 elixir, like 2 hyper ethers, 1 full tonic. You know, basically nothing. And I was also pressed for time, so if I wiped at any point, the run would have just been dead. I'm not gonna spoil what happened, but it was really something. Very, very, very hairy fight. Anyway, so we got a 239.18. Phone takes the win here. Carnoth looks like he's gonna fire up the fight here in a minute. We're gonna let the credits roll. Gonna listen to the music. So in this randomizer, you can pick what ending you get. It's a personal setting. Phone has it set to random, so we have no idea what we're gonna see here. I apologize for the flashes. I've got to turn those off. That'll be fixed moving forward. So we're gonna let the credits play, like I said. After the credits are done, we're gonna throw up Phone's map. Maybe scope it out a little. We're gonna switch the sound over to Carnoth, and we're gonna let him just kind of talk his way through the rest of the run. We're not gonna talk over him. That's a little bit rude. So we got the I forget the name of it, but it's the Reptite World ending, where basically, you know, everything plays out as normal, but everybody's a lizard. Kind of like the real world. And Carnoth, I believe, is going for it now. I didn't see what his setup was, but I'm going to say Frog Flare is going to feature pretty heavily. It's basically as good as Grand Dream. It obviously depends. You know, if you got like a 2 MP Flare, then maybe Grand Dream is better, but because Flare rolled pretty high too, it's going to be fine. So, looking like maybe like a 11-12 minute difference, assuming like a 10-minute Lavos, which is pretty typical. All right, so as we're wrapping up, obviously got to plug the randomizer. It's a lot of fun. You can play it at ctrando.com. A lot of settings there. If you're not sure about anything, the Discord link is on the website as well. You can join up. We're happy to help, I promise. Always looking for more players, more good ideas. Racers, also pretty cool. I wouldn't mind more racers. It is an active development. A lot of features coming in hot pretty often. Bugs get fixed, within like a day. And yeah, not every seed's gonna be like, weird like this. Entrance rando, not mandatory. Key items in chess, not mandatory either. You
just something we happen to do this time. Typical runs, you know, in a more normal flag set. You know, usually in like the 120 to 150 range as far as time. We've had runs go under 1 hour. We've had some entrance rando runs go over 3. You know, there's a wide variance. You know, if you're not racing, you're not really worried about it. But you know, for those that are seeing, you know, 2 hours 45 minutes for a run, yeah, not typical. We went out of our way to make a, you know, very chaotic flag set. Anyway, I'm gonna turn it over. This is just audio from Carnoth's run.
I'm glad you find it hilarious, Blue. I find it hilarious as well. It means you haven't
I've got my map up on
yet,
the screen. As you can see, very, very messy map. There's things all over the place. The blue lines are connections, you know, transition points. You go through one, you end up at the other. We've got
You're on,
icons
like, episode 10?
showing.
Okay.
Like,
You'll have
checks.
like a few more episodes, but you'll see what I mean. You'll see what I mean.
I'm not going to see what he
It
means.
ends nicely.
I will take his word for that. I'm going to stop talking now.
Perfect. Okay. Perfect. No! The other guy. The cats do be loving to do some trolling every now and then. Let's be honest. I mean, that's their thing. They're cute and they crazy. No! I messed up. Frog, what are you talking about? Never. I forgot about the other thing. Whoops. That's right, because he be a tank. That's right. He do be swole. Okay. I mean, we could have let him go through another cycle. It might have put us at a better spot. To be honest. We should be fine, though. We'll be fine. No, keep forgetting I'm out of drinkage. Okay, guys. I think there's enough people here, right? We got our usuals here. That we could do our wheel after this run, okay? The wheel of SMZ? No kidding, right? Luca's about to get rocked. What? He's back. But resets his cycle, so we're okay with that. Get out of here. The end. This will be the end. Under 3 hours, almost 3 hours. Jeez. It's over. It's over. GG too easy. I don't know about that. Painful. Oh my gosh. Oh. Oh my gosh. GG. I don't know if it was a G. It was a G. We'll put that. What's a G? Ooh. Okay. Which one was this? This was... Okay. So the way that things panned out, once phone finishes, I'll probably talk in Discord and not me. The way things panned out, I think I see there could be even crazier strats. And I'm still trying to think like where it's kind of a mess. Man, this is a mess of a seed. Worst part, you guys saw. Oh. No of certain something that didn't occur, which is crazy. Yes, none of that blue, correct. Boom, 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 boom. What? What? Oh. Okay. Wait a minute. Hold on. Where is... What? Wait, what? Hold on a minute. Oh my gosh. This might have been What? It's kitty. It's a kitty cat? It's both. Oh, okay. Where was that though? Hold on. We're investigating. What? You gotta be kidding me. Okay. Wait a minute. What? Wait, what? Hold on. Oh, wait. What? I'm looking at the spoiler log and I can't say anything, but just it makes no sense right now. If I could say things on, phone, don't listen. No. Let's just say this was a very not friendly seed. Okay. Oh, okay, so you couldn't... Okay, so you had to do... Okay, but then where was... What? You had to do... Oh my gosh. You gotta be kidding me. That's ridiculous. To get the thing that Blue mentioned, first of all, it's impossible to get to do that first. I should have this audio for the commentary track with no elaboration. I know. Oh my word. The spoiler log just actually makes this scene worse than actually playing it. Let's just put it that way. You can close stream for a few. I will run another. So yeah, I'll run another and we'll take a break as well. But yeah, I'll run one right away after this, after Too Far Away Times. We'll take a little bathroom break too. But yeah, if you close the stream for a few. But man, oh geez. So hopefully he can't hear this. But man, okay. Guys, there was 0% chance of getting to commons. 0. If you want to talk spoilers, yeah. Turn off your headphones. Ping me when it's safe. Okay, I'll ping you when it's safe. You'll be in Discord. All right. I'll ping you when it's safe. Yeah. So guys, there was. Let's talk to the king first. Give him 2 seconds. It was a little ridiculous. First of all, there was 0% chance to get to commons. Commons was at a flight gated entrance. So you could, because at least to get to commons to unlock flight, you couldn't unlock flight that way. You had to get flight to get to commons because it was in 1000 AD in that section of Guardia Forest, in between Guardia Forest and the castle, you know, the North Guardia Forest. Ridiculous. You couldn't get to commons. So that was not your way to flight. Your way to flight was the Jets of Time. Okay, we knew where Blackbird was, so we were super happy with that. But the problem with that is, in order to get the Jets of Time, you needed to get to Aristome. Guess what we never found? We never found Aristome. So it's like, okay, then where is Aristome? Aristome was at Ozzy's fort. What? So you needed boats of time in order to get to there. But like, how do you get boats of time? I had no gate key, as we can see in the tracker. No gate key. So you needed gate key in order to get boats of time to get to Aristome, and you needed charged pendant to get behind the door that holds Jets of Time. You see the smoke coming out of the ears yet? Anybody following? Probably not. Now that you got to Aristome, you know, through Ozzy's fort, but how do you get the gate key, you may ask? So gate key, in order to get gate key, you needed Luca, which Luca was where? Up in Dactyl Nest, where you needed that Dreamstone, which was in Bangor Dome sealed room. So you need to charge pendant for that, right? To get Luca. You needed Luca, and then you needed Moonstone, and then you needed to do the Moonstone quest to get her Wonder Shot. And so Moonstone was at the Sunkeep 600 power tab location, which we found Sunkeep, but yeah, you needed to find Luca with that Dreamstone in order to do that. So it sounds about right. No kidding. So there was zero opportunity. Like, what just happened? This sort of thing. I couldn't even explain it. There you go. Here's the entrance tracker, guys. But yeah, so you started off, if you could tell, you started off right here. So this is your starting location. This sounds like Rando did Rando things. It 100% did. Then again, this setting is just brutal. I mean, it's like the most brutal settings you can set right now. But yeah, you started here, right? And then, you know, we had all these transitions up here happening. We had, this was Fiona's villa to Fiona's thing, you know. So those were isolated in their own little island area of transitions. And to get to here, initially, to 65 million, there was only one way. Through here, and then through Hecarim Cave. Through Hecarim Cave to get us to 65 million. That was it. That was the only way. And then this island here only held Magus' castle, but we didn't need that because we got Keeper's Dome right here, which gave us our access. Man. But yeah, see, you can see that this Moonstone, I could have charged the Moonstone here, picked it up as Sunstone with Luca, and that would have been good. And would have gotten to Luca's house and gotten the items. This was crazy. But right here, Ozzy's Fort, where we never went to, that's where Aristome was. And then this random nonsense where you got here through this transition. You got here, right? And then you saw the boat right here, and then you go into there. Okay, let's go here. And then you go to here, and then you go to here. And guess what? There's nothing else here. Have you ever had all or nearly all DGs in one spot before? Kind of, a little bit like a mall. Like there's one seed, I think there was two of them nearby. I think I've had a seed where there was a few markets, but not all of them were ones I would mark. These ones were close enough, but nothing too memorable. Like the only memorable thing, like the one thing I would have done for the frog squash was at this Dollar General, there was a regal plate to get more 10 plus 10 stamina. Would have had it more. The other thing I could have done was used Marl, I think, to use the gold rock. To use Grand Dream, because that was the kind of seed it was. Frog squash for the win. Also, who was it? Ayla. It was a Dino Tail seed for Ayla. So we would have had that and a Rock Throw. Dino Tail and Rock Throw were her main ones. Otherwise, it was kind of meh for her. And because Ice rolled low for Marl, it wasn't too particularly useful. Magus, he had Burst Ball, which was a 21 MP Burst Ball, so that was actually pretty good. So single target, no element damage was high. His Iron Ore was 12 MP, so that was actually pretty decent. So I could have picked him up, he would have done decent as well for single target. But otherwise, that was a painful seed. Oh man, guys. Okay. I'm going to reset this so you guys have something to listen to while does each seed produce a spoiler log? You not depending on how you roll it. So if you roll it on the site, yes. If you don't, then no. If that makes sense. Hold on, let me show you the spoiler log so you can see, get kind of like a let me see, make sure it pops up. Oh, whoops. That's supposed to be that. It's supposed to be this. Okay. Let me resize this for you. Boom, boom. Oops. I should have just reset the thing, huh? Okay, so spoiler log right here, right? It tells you all your recruit spots, which ones were none. When we get the site hooked up to the database to save seats, it should have erase seat settings to disable spoiler logs. Yeah, that would be it. Would you like some music for this? Not. Because I'm gonna take a quick break. It'll be real quick, and then. But anyway. So it'll tell you each of the characters, like what they rolled. So you can see here. So what I was mentioning with Ayla, we didn't see her in the game. Her Dino Tail was this, and then divided by 25, which was pretty good. Not as good as divided by 20 with Frog Squash, but it tells you all your key item locations. So as we can see, like Dreamstone, Bangor Sealed, and then Sealed, full treasure assignment. So you can see like, oh, what does Chrono's mom give you, and all the loot here. So we're going to scroll down this. Tells you all of it. And so this, it also tells you the bosses, where all the bosses were. So we could see Son of Sun. Oh my gosh. 3 Son of Suns. Do not go to Death Peak. But yeah, and then entrance assignments, it tells you, so where Vortex Point was, that was Factory Ruins. So it tells you what location it is and what it turned into. So what Chrono's house was is Dorino Inn. So that's how we knew Ozzy's fort, whoever it may be, was something else. But yeah, so it tells you which ones are which. So that's what the spoiler log kind of looks like for you guys. Anyways, we're gonna ping phone and tell him he can come back for funsies. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna just reset this because, yeah. And